you had mentioned that you were detained in Egypt. This was in 2013. You were detained for an extended period of time, along with the filmmaker John Grayson. In fact, when you were en route to Gaza, trying to get to Gaza to do the kind of work you've been doing there. And we've seen recently both Palestinians and Israelis being released from captivity or detention. And we've seen videos, a lot of discussion about this, including videos of Israelis apparently being quite friendly, some of them, not all of them, quite friendly with the Hamas fighters when they're handing them over to the Red Cross. And we're going to talk about that in more detail with John. But I just wanted to get your reaction to some of this as someone who has unfortunately had this kind of experience. When you look at these videos, whether it's Israelis or Palestinians being released, what goes through your mind, having had the experience you did?
Oh, you're muted, Tarek.
A few things, and I can tell you this sort of as strictly personal experience that doesn't necessarily apply to other people. I've never greeted my captors upon my release. And that includes a week ago when I was, or I guess 2 weeks ago now, when I was in jail in Canada. The people who jailed me were not my friend. I was not smiling around with them or chumming around with them. I did not feel any kinship with them or connection to them. And when I left, I was very happy to never see them again. In Egypt, it was slightly more complex in that I could understand where my captors were coming from. They were institutional monsters, while simultaneously, I could see that they had personal lives that were separate from that institutional monstrosity. So, for example, the man who beat me and broke my ribs and hurt my kidney such that I was bleeding, peeing blood for about 2 weeks afterwards. There was a moment in time when I think it was a French citizen who ended up getting killed by the police while in custody. And for some reason, the French ambassador decided that he was going to make us his cause célèbre to make the Egyptians pay for what they did to his countrymen. And so at 1 o'clock in the morning, they came in to our jail cell and started asking us about some things. John, of course, didn't speak any Arabic and didn't really speak French. So I was speaking in Arabic to the captor, and I think this guy, I forget if I was speaking to him in French or in Arabic as well. And so I described exactly what happened, and the Egyptian commander said, "That's not true. You weren't beaten. You weren't hit. That would never happen." And so I turned to John and I said in English, "Show them what they did to you." And he acted out exactly what I told them. And it was clear there was no collaboration between the two of us. So they brought all of the people who could have beaten us, and they lined them up and they said, "Tell me who it was and I'll take care of them." And, both John and I refused. I said, "I don't accuse any of these men. I accuse you because they are following orders." He said, "Well, then you're not letting me hold anybody accountable." I said, "Well, you are accountable so long as we're in jail." So I think, we kind of recognize that individually, everybody's accountable for their actions, but individually, these men could have been nice people, but institutionally, they were monstrous to us. In Israel, it was very much the same. I was tortured initially by a man who, it's been 21 years now, I guess 20 years. And I remember his name, Yaakov Golan. And it was just, he would, for example, play loud music at all times of the day. He would turn down the temperature in our cell. He would cut off the hot water. He wouldn't give us blankets. I mean, it was all of that. I don't remember him fondly. He's not my Abu Monday. I don't think about this guy except to curse him. That's the context in which it is. Now, that's my personal experience, and that's all I can really speak to in terms of my captivity. What I would say is, let's wait a little bit and see what people say about their captivity. You know, when Shalit came out, the story of his captivity didn't really change over time, and it's pretty clear how he was treated. I think even now, how many years has it been? And John is probably the expert on this. It's pretty clear how he was treated, and I hope that the Israeli prisoners and detainees are treated well. That's my expectation as a physician. That's my expectation as a Palestinian. That's my expectation as a human being. If they're not, I would want to hold them accountable. But having said that, at least from my experience within the Palestinian system and within the way that Palestinians do this, I think it's very credible that they've been treating the detainees and prisoners humanely.
Thank you, Tarek, for sharing that. I know these experiences aren't always easy to talk about, but your insight is invaluable.
Yeah, as always. All right, Tarek, we will come back to you soon. Please, of course, keep us posted on your colleagues, and we'll have you back on the live stream very shortly. Thanks for all that you do, Tarek Loubani.
Thanks.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much for having me.
Tarek. Thank you.
Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit like, leave a comment. These engagements help us with the YouTube algorithm, and it helps us to get around Silicon Valley censorship as much as possible. It does make a difference. You can also support our journalism by going to electronicintifada.net and clicking on donate now. Thank you.